For the Glastonbury Festival, Greenfields specifically invited me as their diversity artist from India. The connection was actually built 2 years ago through this collaboration we had with the Lamplighters group who had come to India for Govandi Arts Festival's artist residency. And the idea was to then bring some representation of Govandi into the UK because the Bristol to India already happened. The idea was to come here, look at the scale of the festival here and see what are the things that we can take away and what are the things we can bring, and also to keep the culture or the cross-culture exchange that happens between India and UK alive.
What inspired me about Govandi Arts Festival in India was how a community that was in real trouble in India, in Mumbai, suddenly transformed into this community with hope through going through a creative process of creating a festival.
The community that we worked with in Mumbai is a community of ex-street dwellers. There was a lot of talent in the area and they felt like the community could come together through an arts festival and they could showcase their talent. So I suggested a really good thing to bring people together as a lantern parade based on the principles that we used here.
I work at this organization, which is a social design organization in Mumbai, where we worked with the marginalized urban communities and neighborhoods and provide access to design, art and architecture, because that's not an easy access that you get, especially when you're not even getting your basic necessities met. So Govandi Arts Festival also came out of that. So we did a lot of street interventions, we did murals, we did cleanliness things, we did vendor organization.
We went and did a design workshop with the young people and we made this huge long picture and we said, what does Govandi mean to you? And they just drew what they saw in front of them and their aspirations and how they felt about their community, and we designed all our lanterns based on that huge drawing. So that drawing then came back in here into this room and we rolled it out, and Steph and Amy, and we crawled all over it. And there were two things that the architects wanted and they had seen us do before, and they wanted an elephant and they wanted a peacock because they felt they were really Indian.
So I thought, well, why not use what's going on in India and what's going on here in Bristol and kind of inspire each other, but also use what's going on here as a platform for India to maybe advance in what they're creating just by giving them a bit of light on what they're doing.
As I'm co-curating the festival, I want to make sure that what is getting created is very rooted, but it's also spread out in a way that a lot more people can participate, and it doesn't just create a division such that, oh, this is only for the people of Govandi. No. Once we installed the mural that we created we brought from Govandi, I was just like glancing over the theatre and circus thing, and I was taking a pan shot like that, and then suddenly I could see Hak Se Govandi, which translates to Govandi my pride. And I think I had a moment there where I've just felt like, oh my God, I see what's happening here. When you bring something from back home, there's a certain kind of value that gets created here, which is that there is space for all kinds of people to be here and showcase their art. So it's basically saying Hak Se Govandi, which means Govandi my pride. We traced it and painted it together.
We made a connection with Vietnam and realised that she was a dance teacher and she was teaching traditional Indian dance.
I'm more passionate about Indian classical dance. I started to begin to dance at the age of 5, and now it's a time to spread my dance style in a different forms and passing the culture, like our Indian culture, to a next generation.
I started dancing about a year ago. My friends were doing kuchipudi, so I tried kuchipudi and I fell in love with it.
I've been dancing for 2 years. It's about like how you like move around and like bending and all those stuff. I just like it.
I do Bharatanatyam and my teacher, Nandani auntie, teaches me a lot of dance. My favorite thing is doing about dancing is learning the dance. It helps me like learn dances, steps and all kinds of stuff.
I have a favorite dance called Ganesha cult.
My favorite is Ganesha Kalpam.
The people do Hanuman when you at the end.
Can you show us some of it?
The reason I like to dance is because I feel very happy when I dance.
Dance gives me an immense pleasure. It's not just the dance, it's a well-being as well. For any dance form, we do prayer. This is the must and should take blessings and the wishes from all these 4 different levels and then begin the dance. We thank all the deities.
We met Nan and realised that she was teaching 10 children. And we thought it'd just be really lovely to have them dancing. They were all happy to do it.
I try to keep our Indian heritage alive and get the new generation, next generation kids involved. We take them kids to different programs so they get the benefit of the programs and everybody get the benefit of Indian culture. I want the next generation kids to keep their heritage because this is an advantage to us.
The 10 dancers who came for a school trip and they danced in the beautiful King's Meadow in the Stones. They also were invited to dance for Emily Evis down at the office. And generally it was really quite moving and inspiring day.
We are going to pray for the festival for everybody's peace. So I think doing the prarthana at the beginning of the festival along with the kids is an amazing opportunity for everybody to hear that peace and diversity, we all have to live together, and that's the message we want to send.
Well, I think the opening ceremony is the heart of the really first Glastonbury.
The ceremony is the opening of the festival. It's ended up being quite an enormous event now. It started off by being such a small little thing of the Greenfields. It's about creating a spectacle, a real show, as well as keeping a message of spirituality and humanity very, very strong within the show. And so the two things together creates this amazing spectacle of performance, fire people, incredible, amazing sculpture, burning, fireworks, loads of lovely things. There's music and singers, and it's quite incredible, and loads of lanterns.
It's a really lovely moment of sort of calm but also celebration before the madness of the main festival kicks off. We're doing a workshop on Sunday making dove lanterns, small lanterns with messages of peace, and we're going to parade them around the Greenfields as a kind of peace parade, calling for peace, and all the messages and wishes will be burnt in a fire at the end of the parade.
All of these wishes, these simple wishes, have come from Govandi in India.
The other thing that I've realised in Bristol, London, probably in England, is that South Asian women filmmakers are few and far between. So we invited Yamuna and Izzy here to be doing this film.
Myself and Izzy are making a film together about South Asian culture at Glastonbury.
I feel like Glastonbury has always been something that you watch growing up on the TV. I love music, so I've always been very invested in it for that reason. It's got the best names in the world.
This festival needs to show that it's very much inclusive, but it's ready to do what it can to open its arms to everybody. And there's a lot of great initiative happening.
So we're here with the Rivals, setting up, getting everything ready for the first ever South Asian stage at Glastonbury, and we're super proud to be Punjabis running reggae music for everyone to listen and vibe and enjoy.
The space is called Arrivals, and it's a new venue at Shangri-La this year at Glastonbury 2024.
We want to showcase our culture, but also in a way that,
like we said earlier, makes sense for us now.
Yeah, like an anti-colonial rhetoric on how to present ourselves.
I run a platform called Dialed In, which is all about celebrating South Asian creativity.
So I've been very lucky to be leading the design on the concept and branding of the Arrival space, including set design and the sort of conceptual journey that we've been taking the audience on.
Arrivals is essentially a cinema that is showcasing a South Asian sci-fi pulp film.
The retro futurists.
Yeah. Mixed with a bit of Bollywood.
The wealth of talent and artistry and creative passion that can be found amongst our community is, I think, unparalleled. I think we're an incredible, diverse mix of people. I think the term South Asian has such a giant spread that no one project could ever capture all of it. But I think what's been brilliant about creating this space is that it has really brought together what we've been colloquially calling the kind of Brown Avengers.
I love Glastonbury because you can see the creativity oozing out of the place. And what we try and do here is give that sense of peace. This becomes a place where you can kind of collect your thoughts, collect your mind, be at ease. There's no pressure, and you kind of feel the love. I started asking people and interviewing them, what do you think of the Hare Krishnas? Why do you come here? My initial conception was, the reason people come here is just for the free food, and it just stops at that. But that really wasn't the reason why people come here. They come in here for a sense of community, for a sense of connection. They actually really like the piece, the vibe, how the chanting kind of inspires them.
There's lots of us Westerners who really resonate with ancient Hindu culture coming to us, and who knows why. I was really drawn by the Indian flavour of spirituality. It just really resonated. I feel like I recognised it. While I'm playing, I'm kind of in that world, but some was saying, looking out, everyone who was passing was smiling as they passed, and people would come in. Some people absolutely love it, come to all the sessions. It's cleansing, it brings healing, and some people recognise that. And it's a way to express spiritual joy in a shared experience.
People that know about Ayurveda and they feel really drawn. They're like, oh my gosh, this was meant to be. Or we get people that walk past and they're like, what's Ayurveda? And we just have to obviously explain, but we love sharing it and opening people up to that knowledge.
Ayurveda is like the root of living, the root of our existence, because it goes back to understanding the elements within the universe and how them elements manifest within us.
And came across Ayurveda and it just felt like home. It just felt like right, and because of my mixed heritage, I almost feel like, I don't know, I was just drawn to it from a deeper level.
I think the misconception is often when people think of South Asia, they think of India and Hinduism and Hindu spirituality, and I think Glastonbury's got a great representation of Hindu spirituality from South Asia, but I think there's so many other cultures that they could be drawing from and taking inspiration from too.
So last year it was the diversity project for the Greenfields. We were commissioned to make banners for the festival and also provide our opinions of our experience. I was initially very hesitant and anxious because I thought I wouldn't fit in here. So I was like, what is the point of me being here if I'm feeling this scared? And I felt uneasy because I felt like it's not a place for someone like me, someone who hasn't been to a festival, someone who's not of my heritage and descent, especially from my background. Last year really had a really profound effect on me because I felt like when you're here, it's almost like you're in another reality. So this year I was really excited to come back because obviously I made a community here. But there were a lot of elements of the South Asian culture, but it wasn't necessarily represented by South Asian people. This year, it did change significantly.
So many things that I just feel so passionate about this job. I think the side I like the most is seeing how people transform in this time, being here for the festival, how it creates real change, even if it's like little drops in the ocean of change, but I can feel that it actually does kind of ripple out.
What I'm taking back, what I'm enjoying the most is just the fact that I felt like people have been really kind and accepting and very open about each other.
I think creativity is a great tool to unite people because it can create community, and with community you can always create change.
And I feel like this is just one lamp that's lit, and I feel like with this lamp a lot more would be, which is the seeds of light, will be built. And I hope that this collaboration actually brings the Govandi artists to Glastonbury and experience what it is, and probably make some things or take some workshops here, because I feel if two cultures are not talking, it's still in its silos. And right now, because the collaboration is already strong, we want to keep building the Govandi Glastonbury collaboration in the future.